Hello my dear friends, it's Yuri, and today I want to make one more video about one more translation about the actual results of the fourth day of the BMW Championship. And during the first 3 days I have made something like the calibration of the new methodology for the in some cases prognosis, in some cases expectations only about the golfing skills. Excuse me, just try. Oh, okay, it's maybe unnecessary because it was not any comments. Maybe later I will try to see do we have a comments or not. So currently this is translation. You know that it's about the predictivity power of the first 3 holes. You see that I'm analyzing oftenly results. Yes, it's day 3. Okay. Analyzing oftenly results of the golfers in the rounds when they have played in the 8 and better. And after 3 holes, sometimes it's quite oftenly, it is becoming well understandable. Is it reasonable to expect the excellent game from such golfers or not? I'm talking just about the figures which are describing us such an opportunities. And this connection, you see that it is not working always. Certainly, it's understandable that many golfers can't play so perfectly as they are playing just the first 3 holes. But actually, oftenly it's showing us the current conditions of this golfer, and it's given us the chance to expect that he will play with such an excellent rounds as the -8 and better. I think that it was some very reasonable expectation yesterday. For example, and we'll start from the reasonable certainly because it's more big pleasure for me than something else. So, for example, Bryson DeChambeau, we have expected -5 for him, and he have played -5 exactly. The reason to do it was that approaching was amazingly excellent, very reasonable to play -8 and better, but his first putt proximity were not so good. It was 0.47 yards, and this connection, you see that it was not well enough to expect that he will play -8, but it was very reasonable to expect that he will play with a good scoring. Different situation was with Patrick Cantlay, because you see that on first 3 holes he was amazingly good, not only because he have made a birdie on the par 3 and the eagle on the par 5, but because the quality of his approach was amazingly perfect. 1.7 yards only, the average proximity after the regular shot, and the first putt proximity were 0.2 only, and yards only. And this connection, it was reasonable to expect that he will play -8. Actually, he played -7. Approximately the same situation was for the Rory Mcilroy, because yes, because you see that he have started perfectly, and his approach proximity was not so excellent as Patrick Cantlay. It was just 7 yards average, but his first putt proximity was 0. So he have made just 3 putts on the first 3 holes. In this connection, his expectation of his game was -8. Actually, he played -7. But it was also mistakes, because you see that the Joh Rahm, he have started to play excellently. Approaching proximity, average approaching proximity on the first 3 holes were just 2.9, but in first putt proximity was 0.2. But actually he have played not -8 as I have expected, but -2. The same situation with the Brian Harman. He was not so good in approaching proximity, but in first putt proximity he was also had 0.23. And this connection, you see that it was reasonable to expect that he will play something like -8 and better, but actually he have played just -2. Little bit better situation with the Dustin Johnson. It's approximately the same as with the Patrick Cantlay and Rory Mcilroy. He have played -7. Our expectation was -8. And I need to say that his approaching proximity was not so excellent as the previous golfers. But 7.2 yards, it's well enough to expect that he could play the excellent round. And I need to say that he have played exactly the excellent round, but I think that I need to be a little bit more conservative about those expectations. His first putt proximity were amazingly perfect, 0.1 yards only, so that is incredible result. It was very reasonable to expect that he can play -8, but I need to understand that when we have the list of the golfers, it's very understandable that not all of them will play with such an expectations. In this connection, maybe it's need to be more conservative about it and to expect a little bit different figures. Let's say that if even with such a figures, it's better to expect that they will play -7, maybe -6. And Key Ashley also perfectly start to play on the first 3 holes, and approaching proximity 4.1 yards and first putt proximity 0.13 yards. So our expectation were also -8. Actually, he have played -6. So it was some mistakes, and it was some very reasonable expectation. You see that Tom Hoge, amazingly perfect first 3 holes, 2.6 yards the approaching proximity, and first putt proximity 0, but actually he have played just -1. Cameron Davis -2 as a result, and expectation were -8. Also approaching proximity 4.0, first putt proximity 0.4, not so excellent maybe. So need to see it if for first putt proximity more attentively. But actually, oh, well, here, mistake was here. Exactly, 0.8. In this case, yes, it was not so reasonable to expect from him such a good round. It was just, oh no, everything was correct, because you see that they have started to play from the 10, 11 and 12 holes, and the 12 holes was par 5. In this connection, everything is correct. So I have made the same calculation. I have started to make the same calculation, and I'm going to make it during this round. And we can see 4 results which were shown by the Dustin Johnson on first 3 holes today. So we can see that he have made 1 birdie during those 3 holes, and his average approximate proximity 9.4, and his first putt proximity 0.4. It's very close to the ratios for the average results. For example, the approaching proximity usually approximately 10 yards, and the first putt proximity usually 0.3. Actually, we can't expect seriously the -8 from him, but it will be reasonable to expect something like -5 today. It is not well enough for him to win, because currently he have played -15, and if today he will play -5, his scoring will be -19. In this connection, I'm sure that it will be impossible to win with such numbers today. Eric Van Rosen, a little bit more interesting situation. His approaching proximity, average approaching proximity was 6.0, and his first putt proximity was 0.26 yards. So it's reasonable to expect from him a good round, but we will be a little bit more conservative. In this connection, we will give it -6 and better. Actually, it's reasonable to expect -8 also, not excluding that he will play -8 today. -8 will give him some chances to, but not for winning, but for much more better position that he have currently. So currently he's on the 8th position, and with such a figures he will maybe play perfectly. So now it's reasonable to take a look for those guys who have played perfectly yesterday. So the Rory Mcilroy, we will try to take a look for his figures. It will be not so easy for Rory with such a start. But anyway, we will take his figures for better understanding, a real understanding of the situation. So 354, 93, good to short. So we will use just two figures are from today, all other are from yesterday. So in this connection we will need to change something. It's better to make a copy here, because yesterday some of golfers have started from the 10th tee, and today all of them are starting from the first one. So we have seen that he have played a bogey on the first hole. Yes, 93, 32-10. It's approximately 10 yards. Not so difficult, but it seems that sand saving was not so. Oh, excuse me. No, everything is okay. So just a second. Where is Rory? Oh, here is he. 5 feet and 10 inches. Oh, not so good putting from such a distance. It will be highly reasonable to expect the par 5-10, 5 and 10, 5 feet and 10 inches. And first putt proximity were not excellent. 13 yards, 13 inches. So it was not so good. Some figures are changing. So first putt proximity was 0.4, but for such a distance it's certainly not excellent result. It's well understandable that it's not excellent result. So first shot was not excellent, but not so bad. So the second hole, 238, 68 feet and 1 inch. 238, 68, 238, 68. Is it correct? Oh, 68 and 1. So after that, but it's not approaching. So the short shot will finish in 10 feet and 9 inches, and it was exactly approach. So, and he have made just one putt. In this connection it will be 0 here, and the regular shot proximity was 3.7. So next hole, par 3, 22 feet to the hole, and he will play just first putt. We will stay it over there, and now we will expect, and we can see that, just a second. Currently his approaching proximity is 7, so it's reasonable to expect something good from him. It depends from his first putt proximity on this hole, and this connection we need to expect some time. We have said that the Sergio Garcia have started perfectly. So take analysis of the Sergio Garcia, because he have played exactly 3 holes which were necessary to make such an analysis. So our expectations for the Rory Mcilroy is not finished now. So Sergio, okay, it's too better to take these figures because yesterday it was the different tee positions. In this case, the distance is changing. And for us, it's important the first shot from what distance he have made it. So 1 birdie, 1 eagle, and 1 par. Excellent start. 112, 6 feet and 8 inches. First putt proximity 0, just 1 putt, and approaching proximity 2.3. Excellent. Amazingly excellent. So the second hole, 274 after tee shots, 11 feet and 5 inches. Eleven and 5. So approaching proximity will be 0 here because he was by the second shot on the green, and first putt proximity will be also 0 because he have made just 1 putt in this hole. So in the next hole, 20 feet and 10 inches. Oh, excellent results. Amazingly excellent results. 20 feet. Oh, yes, 20 feet. 6.8 and 8 inches only. So the first putt proximity were excellent. In this connection, the Sergio Garcia have played perfectly on the first 3 holes. Approach proximity were just 3 yards average, and the first putt proximity were just 0.07 yards average. It's excellent results, not so excellent as the best one yesterday, but I think that I want to be conservative, but with such a figures, it's many reasons to expect even the -8. It seems that it will be my mistake because I need to be more conservative with those expectations, but I want to stay for Sergio -8. In many cases, because if he will play it -8, his scoring will be -25, and who knows, maybe it will be well enough to win today. So, okay, now we will start. I think that the Sam Barnes, he have played perfectly yesterday, and the Sam Barnes is quite interesting to be analyzed. Because you see that during these events, this tournament, he have played in first day -8 and second day -7. Certainly, it's not always the reason to expect that in the last day he will play so perfectly. But from the other side, we need to take a look in what conditions is this golfer today, because the fourth day is a fourth day, and you know that maybe some of them were tired, maybe some of them just have researched the course perfectly, and in this connection they will play much more better than in the previous days. In this case, it's a different situation for different golfers. So 101 and 11-2. So 101. Not so big difference, but 2 feet, about 2 yards anyway. And 11-2. Excellent game on the first tee, on the first hole. Not so good on the second, only par, 231, 42 and 9. 231, 572, 231, and here it will be, oh, excuse me, not on those cells. So 43, it's approximately 12 yards. Come on. So 12 yards, it was result of approaching. So here it will be, oh no, it was the second shot, isn't it? Yeah, it was the second shot only. Up, 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 up. So after that, 4 and 5 inches to the hole only, but not birdie. It's a problem with the putting, which is short putting, as it was yesterday on one of the holes for him. Oh, he's not in so excellent form. It's very informative, you know, such mistakes are very informative. 4 feet, anyway, 4 feet and 5 inches. But 2 and 4. Oh. Come on. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everything is okay, but just here the figures are. Oh, yeah, I see. This way. Yeah, 0.8. So, next hole. Tee shot in the right rough. 51 feet. It's understandable that his figures will be not so excellent as were necessary. So it's approximately 15 yards. So here it will be 15 yards. After that he was on the green in 12 feet and 4 inches and 22. 12 and 4. 22. So it's not so excellent start, and we can see that in the case of the approaching proximity, he was not so bad because he was quite good. But in the case of the first putt proximity, he was not so excellent that it's necessary to play perfectly. And this connection, I think that the reasonable expectation for him will be -4 and better only. Because you know that first putt proximity was not so serious what is how it's necessary, and we can see that the terrible mistake for the short putting and this connection, it seems that his analyzers are not in perfect conditions today. So now we will take a look for the Rory Mcilroy, because we just need his final results. So 10 inches the first putt proximity to make expectations about his game. Rory Mcilroy, 10 inches for the first putt proximity. Okay. Okay, you know that it's excellent proximity for him. In the putting, I mean, the first putt proximity is average 0.21 and approach proximity is 7. Now this connection, we need to be more conservative. In this case, we are going to put him exactly minus 7 today, because we also need some intrigue in these competitions. So we will put him minus 7 today. So we have expectation for 5 golfers right now, and Joh Rahm. Okay, we need not to change anything for Joh Rahm. In this case, we have his figures. Okay, take a brief look only to make not this translation too long. Okay, it's good result on the first hole. Is it necessary to calculate or not? Maybe it will be understandable that it's not so many reasons to expect an excellent game from him. Okay, first putt proximity is good. Approach and proximity is not, this distance is not excellent. And here, okay, it's quite good figures. I think that it's reasonable to make analysis for them. 106 of the first tee shot. 22 feet and 8 inches and 15. 22, 8 and 15. Okay. Second hole also played in the par. 228, approximately 90. After that, approaching, which what was not so excellent because he was not on the green after this shot from the rough, very close to the hole, just in 19 yards, but he was not on the green by the regular shot. 13 and 7. And final 2 feet. Not excellent first. Oh, it's just one part, and this connection first part proximity will be 0. Okay. .7. And a short hole. Excellent tee shot. 10 feet and 3 inches and 9 inches. It's quite normal because you see that probability of the first part here was only approximately 30%, and this connection, it's not reasonable to expect that exactly this fact will work. So approach proximity is excellent, 4.6 yards, and the first part proximity is also good, 0.2. And this connection, meanwhile, that he have not made a birdies on the first hole, it's reasonable to expect that today he will play We will be conservative. -6 and better. -6 and better. And now take a look for our leaders. I think that I could not, and we will try to analyze. You see that, okay, we have well enough time to make analysis for more golfers, and Joh Rahm, for example, and after that leaders, because you know that we have maybe 15 minutes before the leaders will play 3 holes. In this case, it's reasonable to make the full analysis of this situation. Who knows who will play excellent today? Yes, it's statistical situation. So some good Joh Rahm. He have started perfectly, -2 after 3 holes. Okay. 111 and after that 12 feet only. 111 and 12 here. 12. Yes, 12 exactly. 12 feet only. So first par proximity 0 and approaching proximity 4.1. Second hole 259 and approximately 10 yards. 259 and approximately 10 yards. And just one part from excellent, yes, excellent approaching. 4 feet only. And just one part in this connection, the approaching proximity 1.4 and the first part proximity 0. And a short hole, not so excellent approaching, but the distance is 220 yards. It's quite good. So 31.11 and 1 inch only. 1 inch only. 31.11. So it's 31 feet and 11 inches. And 1 inch only. So, excellent results. Approach proximity, average approach proximity 5.4 and first putt proximity 0.01. Excellent result. And in this connection we can expect from Joh Rahm -7 today. -7 and better. So now we need to make 2 copies. Oh yeah, we have well enough. Okay, so we need not to make a copy. So we have exactly Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Cantlay. And who else? We have some time to analyze maybe 1 or 2 more golfers. Eric, we have information about Eric at Hans Hudson Stoffer. -3 after 6 currently. So how it was on the first 3. 100 soaring and 70 feet and just one, oh, excuse me, and just one part. The probability of the one part on this hole were approximately 25%, or something like that. In this connection, it's the excellent result. He have played against probability, against the gods. So it's excellent. Second hole, par 5, he have played in 5. So it's approximately 257 yards and sorting yards. 200. Is it correct? Oh. Here is him. 257 and Thorning. Uh, 16 feet and 6 inches and 11. And 11. Okay, need to copy this one. Yes, exactly. So he's approaching the 6 yards. Not so excellent from such a small distance as the sorting yards, certainly. And his first putt proximity were 11 inches only. And next hole. So excellent tee shot. 14 feet and 5 inches and 11 inches. So we have seen an excellent figures for the Hudson. You see that the approach proximity 5.6 and the first putt proximity 0.2. To be conservative, we can make him put him the expectation minus 6 to be exactly conservative. So in this connection, if he will play minus 6 today, currently he is minus 3, 21. It's not well enough to be winning. But take a look what about our leaders. So we're starting from the Bryson DeChambeau. On the first hole, Bryson. Wow. So long, very close to the hole. 32 feet 7 inches in the front green side bunker. So it was barely, yeah, exactly. 32 7 inches. Oh, wow, 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 wow. It was a Hudson figures, it's not figures. Oh, excuse me. Terrible, sorry, just need to put it over there because it will be maybe mistakes later. I don't want to have mistakes in this spreadsheet. 17 and 100 sorting. Yes, 100 sorting and 17. Oh, yes, okay. It's Patrick and here is Bryson. 354, 100 sorting. Oh, terrible, sorry again. It's okay. I need to be much more attentive. Sorry, guys. So 32 7 and 3. Okay, it's approximately 10 yards. Third pass proximity 0. Okay, just one part. Oh yeah. And second hole. 572 225. Okay. Third shot 22 feet 11 inches 80 28. (12 feet 11) 3 feet 8. And again he was not on the green by a regular shot. Oh, not again, but he was not on the green by a regular shot. So it was, it's approaching certainly, but he have made just one putt from 3 and 8. From 3 and 8 in this connection, the first putt proximity was 0 here. And the next hole, 24 feet and 12 inches after that. So we can see that approaching proximity is 7.5 average and first putt proximity is 0.11. In this case, it's reasonable to expect that Bryson will play today -6 and better. Because first putt proximity is excellent, approaching proximity is coming to be closer to the higher ratio. In this case, I think that it's reasonable to make such an expectation. And Patrick Cantlay. So currently Patrick -2 after 3 holes and the -23 total. First hole 106 25.3. Okay, we'll take the figures. 106. It's approximately the same as it was yesterday, just 1 yard difference. And 25 and 3. Okay, we will change it. So first putt proximity will be 0. Okay. Copying. So probability of approaching one putt, from such approaching distance was just 20%, maybe it's even less than 20%, but he have converted in the birdie, so it's amazingly good, showing us that he's in amazingly good conditions. 254 yards to the hole after tee shot. Yesterday he have made an eagle on this hole. And again, very close to his yesterday results. Green side bunker, 41 feet and 3 inches. 41 feet and 3 inches. Okay. Oh no. because it's just a second shot on the par 5. So 3 and 2. And it's only first putt. And here approaching proximity will be 1.1 on this hole for him. And a third hole he have played in the par, 21 feet 1 inch and excellent proximity, 19 inches to the hole only. Okay, here it's 0. And again, we need to say that Patrick Cantlay is starting amazingly perfectly. Approaching proximity is just a second. Some kind of I'm terrible. Sorry, just a second. Not so perfect, but excellent. So approach proximity 5.6 and a first putt proximity 0. And this connection, it's reasonable to expect from him minus, again we will be conservative, minus 6 and better. Because it's last round, they are playing, you know, that the final round, he's in the leading group in this connection. It's not so often. Sometimes, you know, that before that I have calculated the same way the situation, that, you know, that in the last round we always need to expect something, the, you know, that the stress factor. Because you see that it's not, maybe in the previous days it's much more reasons to expect the excellent rounds from the golfers, but in the last one, from those one who are struggling for the highest position, they have the stress factor, and usually results in the last day are not so excellent as in the previous days. In this case, not so oftenly the golfers are playing much more better than they play in the previous days. In this case, it's necessary to be included in our calculation. So let's try to take a look for the expectation of the results. We have the same expectations for Bryson DeChambeau and for the Patrick Cantlay. Maybe just a small advantage for the Patrick Cantlay, and it seems that maybe just a small advantage for him. So if they will play minus 6 today, and as we have seen that expectation for the other golfers is not better than minus 7, yes, for Joh Rahm, it will be not well enough for Joh Rahm to compete with them for the Sergio Garcia or for the Rory Mcilroy to compete with them for the first positions. In this case, we can expect that this biggest struggle today will be exactly among two leaders, and the other ones couldn't took part in this struggle so seriously. So seriously, from the other side, the approaching proximity of Bryson is not so excellent as some other golfers. In this case, we can expect that maybe he's not in so amazingly excellent form today. In this case, you know that maybe, okay, I will put it over there. No, it's okay. Maybe just this way, not so conservative, and we can. Oh, it's okay. Minus 6. It's reasonable to not to change anything. So in this connection, again, the Bryson DeChambeau in particular will mostly struggle today for the first position, and And from the other golfers, Joh Rahm and Sergio Garcia have the best expectation. The Sergio Garcia have the highest expectation, -8 today, because he have started so perfectly to play in the first 3 holes. I hope that this methodology will be excellent working in the future, but mostly I think that such a thinking about the golfing and about the golfing skills will be highly useful for us for the improving of our game. In this case, the conception of the first putt proximity, FPP, I will try to use it, and I highly recommend you to take the results of the putting from different distance for different golfers. Let's say that you're taking just actual figures from the, for example, some of them will be winner today. Let's say that Patrick Cantlay will be winning today, and we can take all his puttings, all his for all 4 days, and to struggle with him putting from the same distances as he did. And this will give you, for example, on the first hole, 11 feet and 7 inches. And you can also take figures about the first putt proximity, and you will have a better understanding of the actual performance of the leading golfers, the best golfers, and you will have a good motivation to training your putting skills more seriously. Because if you will use these figures for all 14 holes, all 18 holes, and I will make a special spreadsheet and will post it in my group, just a second, which is calling Your Golf Swing Videos. I will show it to you because it's the leading group for me and the most popular. Yes, Your Golf Swing Videos. You have address of this group in the description, and I will put the leader result. So it's the public group with 8.2 thousand members, and this connection you see that it's quite popular. So I will put this spreadsheet over there, and you can better understand what is the from what distances you need to play and to make competitions with the future winner. And plus that, if you are not you are not using Facebook, maybe by any reasons, you can use the page in the Instagram, All Over the Golf, and here I will also send this information, and you can find the actual information over there. So how I made before that, just a second, I will show you. I hope that also so many messages. Yeah, this one, for example, I have made it for the Cameron Smith when he have shown an excellent result in the third day of the Northern Trust, and that date he have played -11. And this connection, it was highly interesting to struggle against him. He have made 25 putts, and you can see the different distances and number of shots from those distances, and it's highly interesting to struggle with him and to compete with him, because really it's a competition motivation for you, and plus that you are struggling against those guys who looks like the unachievable. And I need to say that I'm not so strong exactly in the golfing. I mean that my handicap is approximately 12 currently, but sometimes I have the same number of the putts as those golfers. So the usual difference against them is approximately 2.5 shots only. In this case, you know that it's improving your putting skills, and the putting is highly one of the most important components of the game. So if you will be, and for the amateur golfers, for the in-age golfers, it's not so easy to be so strong as those guys from the tee shots, but in approaching, because you know that approaching it depends mostly from the leg impact or the flip impact, and so you have, if you have as 84% of all amateur golfers, you have a flip impact, your transition zone will be much more higher, 3 times in square higher than bigger than those one for the luck impact. In this case, not all of us have reasons or opportunities to change our impact because it's need too much work on that. And in this connection, our approaching opportunities are highly limited. But our game for scrambling and around the green and on the green putting is much more flexible, and we can be much more closer in those components of the game to the professional golfers. And in this case, it's given us the additional motivation for improving our golfing skills and to be much more attentive to figures. So thank you very much. And again, this translation was longer than 1 hour. And I think that maybe the best way to look for that is just to look your TV and maybe just listen something additionally for the translation of the actual game of the golfers. So thank you very much. I hope to see your comments and your advice how improve my just a second, how improve my channel. Okay, oh, you see that it's not so easy to find it, not so difficult to find it. How improve my channel, because you see that the number of subscribers is rising, the number of youth is rising quickly, but mostly it's relative with those subjects that, that with short videos, which YouTube shorts. But I'm also happy if you will look more and more at my longer videos. And this connection, I will be thanks a lot for any advice which is relative to with the development and improving my channel. So thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you on my channel again. Have a good day, and we'll see who will win today. Bye bye.